software engineer of 10 software engineer with 10 years of experience. And apparently that's about how long it takes to fry your brain. Lead maintainer of Latterly.io, which is an open source website helping you land your first or next programming role. Today we're doing some open source development. What we want to do is upgrade Latterly itself to use the app router. And this is just a matter of like kind of practicing what you preach. So it's strange that Latterly teaches people to use the app router, which is the latest and greatest version of Next.js in Next 14. It's standard, and yet Latterly itself is using the pages router. So it's like a version or two behind. So this is not like super critical. It doesn't like break the website. It doesn't add a killer new feature, but it does make it easier for Latterly students who are trying to understand things. And one of the first places they look is they look at the Latterly source code and they're like, whoa, this is like really different. I'm confused. So it helps with that. And then it also fits, in addition to mitigating the pain point of confusion on the part of students, it also improves the ability to contribute. So if those students do look and they do understand and they do want to give back and they're pinging me and asking for like, where can I help, which is a fantastic thing. I want to be able to give them something to do and have it be minimally confusing and easy for them to implement. So those are some of the reasons that I'm doing this. And why am I doing this now? Just the sooner the better. The sooner the better. There are some major features incoming, and it is easier to integrate new modules. There's new modules rolling out in front-end world all the time, in React world and Next.js world. And it's easier to integrate them onto the latest version of Next.js, minimize the tech debt. But that being said, we want to time box this stuff, right? We want to time box this stuff. So this is my third session trying to upgrade this router. It's proving a pain. What are some of the reasons it's a pain? The upgrade tool, there's a code mod on Blitz.js, and it doesn't work out of the box. Maybe once upon a time it did. Maybe it got out of date, whatever. I'm not sure. So upgrading to Blitz 2, you go to the official documentation, they tell you to do this. This doesn't work. Okay, so that was like strike one. Actually, that was the second thing we did, but in theory, that should be strike one. Strike two is not really a strike at all. It's just that if you don't use the code mod, if you do it yourself, it's tedious. Okay, so it's like a time boxing thing. But that is what we'll be resuming today. And then there's the third reason, which is if I kick this can down the road, stuff could get easier in the future. And so that's another reason to time box it for now. So maybe they fixed the code mod. And ChatGPT just released the Omni model 4.0 with a newer training cutoff. So we'll give that a try. Maybe that'll help us. However, the training cutoff is 2023 October, which is prior to the merge of the pull request for app router in Blitz. So it doesn't quite make it. Which is another reason it's difficult to do now, and another reason that we kick the can down the road later, because in 6 months, if they bump the training date, then it will include. So the app router shipped, I think, in like January, and there were some very helpful and important bug fixes that went out in January and February. So if we can get that knowledge cutoff date past February, in addition to shipping and some bug fixes, there were also some important documentation updates. And I believe, I could be mistaken, but I believe that ChatGPT will be trained as much on the documentation, if not disproportionately on the documentation, relative to GitHub and the source code training itself. So if we can push that knowledge cutoff date to like March, this problem could get a lot easier and ChatGPT could be a lot more helpful. So that's like the background info. And now let's go over to the pull requests, okay, of which there are two, one trying the code gen approach and one trying the like not code gen, just like manually picking over files into the Next.js architecture. Oh, great. We have a third-party PR. That's great. I'll review that later after the stream. So these two are mine. And then shout out to Anish, if I'm saying that properly, for some improved documentation. I look forward to reading that soon. Mr. J, thanks for being here. Thank you for the likes. Mr. J says, how did you find the willpower to sit down and learn code. I went on Udemy and can't concentrate. Mr. J, the answer is that I was terrified of being poor and out of a job. And I found that to be a remarkable incentive for myself. So I think it's true. If you're born wealthy, you have a strange disadvantage in motivation, don't you? Although you have some other advantages. So maybe it's a wash. Maybe it's a wash. But if you have a background like I did, like 10 years ago, I have been a janitor. I worked at Walmart customer service. I worked at Chick-fil-A. I've been through the mud. And it's remarkable when I look at my fellow self-taught programmers, many of them come from the food service industry. And that's the honest truth, is that I did not motivate myself by saying, hey, I'm going to have like free lunches at like Google's going to prepare me lunch. That was not the motivation. The motivation was like, I was working at a job that I made some money, but not much. And it was extremely stressful. If you think software engineering is stressful, try political consulting in the DC Beltway. There were, over the course of 1 year, there were 3 different days where I worked all day, stayed in the office, worked all night, and continued working the next day. I didn't sleep all night. 3 different instances. And this is not for 6 figures. This is not for 6 figures. So that was pretty motivating. That was pretty motivating. All right, let's get into some code. That's my background anyway. I don't know that that's going to work for everybody. But yeah, I think tech is a great pathway to work. I'll say work-life balance. Right now, there's like a trend going around where people are saying like work-life balance is a lie. And I get where they're coming from, but I think it's like a really naive starting point. So the starting point is that work-life balance implies that you should be able to work and rest in equal amounts. I don't know who told them that. Like, I've been around for a while. I don't remember anyone ever telling me that's what that meant. But there is some balance, even though it's not a one-to-one. You should be able to like sleep. And so, not that everyone in tech gets great sleep, but relative to some of the other possibilities, like it's great. And I think that's one of the missing keys is it's easy to focus on problems in the tech industry, of which there are many. What's hard to do, especially if you've only ever been in tech, if you're like a person who like my first job was in tech and you've only ever been in tech, it's hard to get a grasp around the bigger problems outside of tech. And then to be able to therefore appreciate what tech has to offer in terms of relatively better work-life balance. It's not like one-to-one between work and rest. But it's pretty good. And the quality of life is pretty good. The pay is pretty good. 6 figures is awesome. That's way above average. Working remote is easy in tech. Again, relative to other industries. And breaking into tech without a degree relative to other industries, all of these things are relatively easy. And so one of the mistakes that I see people make when they're advocating for tech is they will just say it's easy and they will forget to say it's relatively easy. And then it comes across as like, what, it took you 2 years to break into tech? Are you an idiot? Like you should be able to break into tech in a weekend. That's not realistic. That's like someone scamming you. That's not a proper understanding of what easy means from an economics perspective anyway. And I have the PhD in economics that helps ground me when I do these analyses. But what we can say is that when you take all of the 6-figure job opportunities across industry, and then you say which of these job titles are easiest to attain without a degree, you get a large proportion of tech titles. And doing that outside of tech is generally relatively hard. Okay, let's try to get into some actual coding. I want my first job to be programming Python. Weird goal, but okay. Here's some goals I would encourage you to explore. I want to build a tool that helps people. Right, something like that. And then care less about the language. But yeah, if that's what it takes, go for it. So which language or code can put me into a good job fairly quickly? So sign up for Laterally. It's free. You get access to this checklist that helps you step-by-step understand how to land your first or next programming role. You'll get the trial by fire on step 3 that will give you an overview of web technologies. The answer to your question, it's supply and demand. Where are the largest quantity of software engineers demanded? The answer is web applications. Everyone needs a website. Everyone uses websites. And so then you ask the second order question, given websites, what are the technologies held in common amongst the plurality of jobs? And the answer is what we call web technologies, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then higher order on top of JavaScript are the modern frameworks, of which the most popular is React. And so that's why Laterally teaches you React, as do like the vast majority of top tier coding boot camps. So it's what employers want. That's the easiest way to break in. Okay. Fun stuff. Let's get to some code. Which branch am I on? 216 and 220 are our options. Thank you so much. Very welcome. If I don't get to your question, by the way, you can join the Discord on Laterally, laterally.io. You can join the Discord and ask your questions after the stream, and I'll get to them after the stream. Wrong repository. Okay. Upgrade Blitz 189, not using CodeGen. Git log -1 is the broken whip. Okay, so we'll close this, go to my file explorer. If over 1,000 likes on TikTok already. Wow, y'all are crushing it really quickly out of the gate. Thank you so much. By the way, if you're on TikTok, if you would like to see the full screen, you can go to my bio and look at the YouTube or Twitch links. And you'll be able to see the full screen. Okay, so here we are with the package.json. You can see these have been upgraded to 2.0.8. That's the new version. And you can see next here is using 14.x. So that will include the app router. So this is, from a dependency perspective, upgraded. The problem is that the code doesn't work as expected. I think the server will run. So in that sense, I think the code works. We'll see shortly. But when it runs, I don't think it serves the client what we want it to. Okay, so version bump, I guess that's correct. Okay, so I think I know where we are, and I think we're here on 220. So the broken whip is the last commit. Looks like no. Oh, this is the code mod one. Sorry, 216. So the broken whip is the last commit. Okay. And Vercel is mad. Vercel is going to be mad because of the page enumeration, I think. Enhanced Prisma is not exported from Blitz because we don't do that anymore. This is not assignable to the user select. Okay. That's not the error I expected. So let's run this server locally, see if we get the same error that CI does. Cannot find mod, we get a different error. So here I will Command Shift F, Command V. And this is used in Blitz itself. So this is a different repo. 4 months ago, Next.js compatibility it's intended for. So what does this have to do with my repo? Here's React query. It's going to use the router. So this router compat, here we go, is designed to assist developers migrating from pages to app. Unlike Next Router, this hook does not throw when the router is unmounted and instead returns null. the more concrete type here, lets developers use this hook within components that could be shared. Okay, so this is to enable sharing across app and pages. I think we can remove it. Like, I'm here to migrate. I don't need some compat modules that are busted. I think we can move it. So let's go look for my usages of use router, particularly coming out of this compat module, but I don't have any such. So who is saying can't find this router? Blitzes. Router.use router. So it's here to assist developers, but it's being used internally and creating an issue. Okay. This is in the Blitz RPC. What is this router used for? So it looks inescapable if I'm using Blitz RPC. It's not like I can swap out my module like I was thinking. Let's open up this config file. So is that the place under error? Okay. So we'll double check this file is in the right location. Moving this file is part of the migration work. And then the other thing to check, maybe I just need to like clear my build cache. So I'm going to npm I, and then I'm going to npm run build. So we'll do that. And then I'm also wanting to check if Blitz itself has had a new release. So there's 209. Okay, so we're on 208 and they had 209. Fix export of enhanced Prisma. Our error was related to enhanced Prisma. Okay, so we might just be dealing with, in part, not in whole, but in part dealing with a bug right here. Post install script. I wonder, I think that means that I can just npm. I wonder how I activate that post install. I might need to, so my Blitz version here is on 208, I think. I might need to like reinstall a whole new Blitz, which is okay. We can do that if needed. Let's see. How do I upgrade my 208? npm I-g upgrade. I don't know. Blitz at 2.0.8. This is going to be 2.0.9. I don't know that this is going to work. Because is it going to bump my Blitz and then not bump the monorepo associated packages like auth-next and RPC? We'll see. What's your fave CSS stack? It's just Tailwind right now. Smallest salary you'll interview for right now? There's a it's got to be like absolute lowest 170 and probably a lot higher than that. But if your non-salary comp is really good, I'll consider it. I'm talking to someone about a CTO role that has 50% equity, and the salary there is I think like up to 190, which I consider low, but I'll consider it because the equity would be crazy. In general, I want it in the 200s though. Okay, so that updated. Small companies don't know what they're doing / asking for. Maybe, I don't know. That seems like a really blanket statement, right? But it's going to be true of a lot of companies. A lot of big companies don't know what they're doing. Okay, so I don't have 208 for my blitz auth. What do I have here? Yeah, so it was exactly what I was worried about. Oh, you know what? But it's my local version. Is it? I think I need to recreate the whole app again. So let's do it. Why not? Why not? I'll make a new Git branch for this because it's like a pretty significant change. So I'm going to git checkout-b, and then here we'll say sub v-9. That's wild. I've never made that kind of money before. Yeah, it's true for a lot of people. One of the things that I see is people, software engineers are saying like, there's no jobs. Actually, there's thousands and thousands of jobs. It's really easy to get a job if you're a senior software engineer. I think what they mean is there's no jobs that pay as much as I want that are willing to hire me. So being able to take a pay cut is actually a superpower. Just put on your economics hat, supply and demand. You lower that price point and there's a whole lot more opportunities available. I saw one LinkedIn post from someone today, and they were going on a rant about how they're almost depressed and they don't even count how many places they've applied. And it feels like yelling into the void. And on the one hand, I'm like, this is really sad. But on the other hand, they had hundreds of likes and comments. And you can't really say that you're yelling into the void. And a bunch of those comments were like, I'm hiring, apply with us. And he was responding like, not willing to relocate, not paying enough. And I'm like, there are people who are really struggling, and that doesn't look like it. That just looks like you're being picky to me. I'd be blown away starting at 70K. Hey, hit me up on the Discord. I mean, it all depends on your years of experience and stuff. I can't just wave a wand and give you 70K, but that seems like not hard to do. So if you're having, I don't know if you're just starting out, but if you're having trouble, there could be low-hanging fruit to improve in your job search process. So hit me up if I can help. Schmeichel says, what are we doing here? We are trying to upgrade a Next.js application from 12 to 14 so that it uses the app router instead of the pages router now. Okay, so now here I am on this new branch. And I want to CD up a level. And I want to blitz version here now that I'm out of the local scope. These are not found. That's actually good. It's not pinning me to the wrong version. My global is 09. That's good. And here, I think it's blitz new, laterally -3. So this will stomp on my existing app, which is, I created the new branch specifically because I want to stomp on it. So now we're using the app router. Here we go. NPM, Formic, cool. We're going to overwrite. I don't think I'm using Formic. Yeah, I think I'm using final form. Okay, I'm going to cancel this. CD back into my laterally 3. I'm going to get fetch and confirm I'm in the new one. Cool. I'm going to get fetch origin main, get reset hard on origin main. So whatever progress that I had on the cousin branch, I've just ditched it. What's the significance of changing routers? There's a bunch. It enables like React server components. There are significant alterations to the syntax, which is relevant because if I want you to learn the new syntax and then you look at the code and it's the old syntax, then you get confused. That's the pain point that I'm trying to remove. So maybe, Remy, the main significance for the typical student will be it aligns the laterally source code to the version of React that you're actually learning. I think that's probably the most relevant thing. Okay, so I ditched all the cousin branch progress. Here's a dev.b. We can drop that. What is the name of your Discord? Go to laterally.io. It says Discord under the community tab. So I'm going to stick with final form just to minimize the changes. I know it says Formic is recommended. I think I used all 3 of these and I didn't like Formic. I think that's the reason I picked final form, but honestly, it's so long ago that I can hardly remember. Gignore has conflicts. Let's show the changes. We want to add VS Code. I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to ask, I'm going to skip it and I'm going to ask GPT to resolve the conflicts for me. Oh, I already had an instance open. Role. You are an expert software developer with experience using Next.js version 14 and other frameworks, languages, and tools. Task. Consider the Gignore diff below and provide a file value literal with the superset of resolved values. Resolved rules. Cool. Ghost Carbon, I've taken a statistics and Python class. What other classes should I take to get into a data profession? You just need to finish out your degree. That's going to give you a significant bump. The names of the classes are super not important. Welcome to Human Capital Theory versus Signaling Value of the Degree 101. What you want is something on your resume that's going to get through the screen and get you to an interview. So in terms of actual statistical knowledge, what you're going to want to add is like SQL. Like you're going to want to know how to do SQL, which won't be included in most statistics classes. Your Python class may or may not have touched it. But if you want to get into data, yes, I know SQL. Okay, great. If you know SQL and if you know Python, you have all the skills for an entry-level data analysis role. It's just a game of getting into the interview. What is your target salary for your next role, if you don't mind me asking? Like, I don't mind you asking. I just don't like setting crazy expectations for y'all, because what I'm about to say is not what you should be targeting. Yeah, so I'd like to hit a salary of 230 because that was my recent salary. I mean, that's flexible, but that's what I'm shooting for. I have an option to take data mining and warehousing. Sure, that sounds cool. Why not? Okay, package JSON has conflicts. We can overwrite that. That's okay. The RPC has conflicts. You can overwrite that too. Fine, overwrite them. I'll reset soft. That's fine. Nice. Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, if you're getting value out of the video, y'all, please tap like, share it with a friend. If you know someone who's interested in tech, whether they are already into software, would love them to join the community, or if they're not in software but they would like to, also welcome. If you took an intro Python class, would you be guaranteed to get an A right now? Absolutely not. There's no guarantees. If you have a rude professor, like, good luck. You know what I mean? Guarantees. Living by guarantees is a hard way to live. Okay, so it did this auto commit thing that I don't like. So let me cd into laterally 3. I'm going to get log -1. See the brand new Blitz app here. I'm going to get log -2. Grab the SHA, get reset -soft on that, which will reactivate my diffs here. The main thing that I care about is the Gignore. I need that Gignore preserved. Otherwise, it's going to put crazy things into version control. Command A, Command V, Command S. I am unstaging everything. And I am staging only the Gignore now, the resolved one. I'm looking at the diff here. Okay. So it has PNP. That's great. Is SQL or R more important for data science? SQL is more important. I'm not in front end. I'm closer to DevOps type role. Cool. What language are you using? We're using TypeScript, although we're dealing with closer to DevOps type files between the Gignore and the package. So this is not programming in front of us. These are Git and build related infrastructure files. A lot of these is sorting. That's fine. Web modules is retained. Yarn related. Okay. Testing. GPT like did some nice sorting. Look, it has yarn related grouped. That's based. It kept my SQLite, which is the more general block. I'm seeing .now is apparently missing. Let's see if it's retained elsewhere. I need .now. Am I missing it? Where's .now? From a person suffering even getting an interview, what type of projects could improve my resume? You might not have a project issue, but also if you go to laterally.io, then the big 4 projects are named on the standard checklist. So it's just right there. So sign up to laterally.io, check out the projects, and if there's questions after that, join the Discord, or you can book an expert session and I can give you a tailored review. It's not going to be free. Like, expert stuff is valuable, right? So you can sign up for free, but the expert sessions are not free. But there are really, really, really detailed things that we can do to debug and troubleshoot your job funnel. Thoughts on the trend of having the file list on the right side of the editor? I have no thoughts on that trend. I mean, if I read right to left, it would be cool. but I don't. Okay, so dot now seems inappropriately purged. Why was this not included in the superset? Are there other similarly missing entries or rules? Did it literally just added the one that I mentioned? Okay. Let's try this again. Command A, Command V, Command S. Yarn related looks good. Testing Next.js, I like it. The SQLite looks good. Blitz.js looks good. Ignore physical backups of BlitzDB. Fine. Ignoring the env files, that's super important. Thank you. Vercel. No way, dude. Where's dot now? Did I copy incorrectly or is it still missing? I must have copied incorrectly. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. Oh, I pasted in read-only mode. That's the issue. Okay, let me unstage this. Command A, V, it's still in read-only mode. I'm having some lag too. Okay, Command A, V, S. Let's take another look. This looks good. Testing looks good. Blitz, out, debug, env, vercel, caches. Okay, and there's now, and I just skipped over it. Okay. On the right hand, that all looks good. Let me check the left hand one more time. Yarn integrity is still there. It's just sorted. That's cool. And vercel was also just moved. Great. All right, the git ignore, not to be underrated, is good to go. Chore, update, git ignore. I need to force push this. We'll set the upstream. Okay. Did I spell this word correctly? Supersedes. Cool. Oh, we got something in the chat. Sorry, I was ignoring that. Justin. Oh, is it with an H, like Hestian? Came from TikTok. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. I'm a programmer and this is boring. Thanks, Omar. You can swipe. Okay. So we have the git ignore. ESLint is not going to be controversial. That's cool. Package lock, I can basically discard, but whatever, we'll leave it for now. This is going to be really important. See how it wiped my scripts? We cannot be having that. And see how many of my important dependencies it dropped? Cannot be having that. Let's bump this up to 2. Private true, that's good. Blitz build is not an optimal build content. So I'm taking left up to line 8. Vitest, fine, prepare. It's only a comma diff, and these are absent scripts. So I can really take the whole left up here. I can take the whole left up here. Let me do so. To the word Prisma, and then even down to the print width, sure. So I can really take the whole left up here. I want to retain the private value. Here I'm making this 0. How can I get into robotics? I don't really know. I don't work in robotics. If you go to Micro Center, they have like cool, like those little boards. You can do some stuff with that maybe. Thanks for the likes. Oh, we're over 2,500. That's awesome. Y'all rock. Thank you so much. I didn't realize how fast that was going up. Okay, we want to retain Vercel Analytics and Auto Prefixer. Is Auto Prefixer not needed anymore for some reason? You should do some leak code. We do that at 3 p.m. Tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Leak code alone will not land you a job. You need behavioral interview skill, and the current task is a blocker to implement a behavioral interview tool at Latterly. So this is just as important. Is there a resume template on latterly.io? It's not updated yet, but you can check out my resume. GitHub, Vanderveer, my resume. And you can see the recommended workflow, how to fill it out here. So yeah, there is a resume solution. It's just not really documented at Latterly right now. Latterly is open source, so if you want to write up some documentation, go ahead. But also, like, I'll do that in the next couple weeks. So here, I think this is all looking good. Next.js, Google Analytics. .env. Why was final form purged? Final form. Okay, it's just moved. Basically, like all of these things, I could update the version, but I'm kind of like, do I want to? Like, I'd rather everything as much as possible remain constant. So we're going to just have those remain constant. .env is not found, so we'll grab that. Gray matter, I think, is not found. FS extra, I think, is not found. We're grabbing these. Post CSS postmark are exogenous. Prisma is upgraded. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Grabbing all these things. Remark hype. React final form is a duplicate, so we'll drop the duplicate. Cool. I'm going to keep it in that location. That's the non-diff location, and it's closer to alphabetical anyway. And then here's final form. Final form is here prior to FS extra. Why is formic added? So if I pick final form, it adds formic anyway. Is that what's going on? All right, let me add an issue on Blitz right now. Okay, that's fine. They'll let me know if I'm crazy. That should be like a quick, thanks for the rose. That should be a quick thing for them to check. Okay, so here I am, I guess, going to leave it for now since they installed it, but I'll add myself a to-do on my PR. To-do, I think I can purge, which I think was unintentionally added. You're submitting a bug report. As a software dev, it is the funniest. I saw you like 45 minutes ago hitting an unknown error, and now you're submitting a bug report. Yeah, I mean, that's how you know we're doing real software engineering, right? How do you know, like, what's the difference between a real software engineer and a fake software engineer? The real software engineer is mostly working on bugs. That's the difference. 1.5 years as a backend. Would you recommend learning AWS to further my career? Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You should. I just had a student that was struggling on the job search. I looked over, and they were struggling to get called back on the resume, right? And I looked at their resume. I said, "This thing parses fine. It's ATS friendly. Your keywords are hitting. It all makes sense. I think you just literally don't have enough stuff on there that's considered valuable." Isn't that a bummer? So he got the AWS cert and he's gotten callback since. It like boosted, like recruiters care about his resume now. AWS cloud engineer here, 7 years of experience. Yes, come to us. Serverless empowers you to find work and own your own apps. We love serverless. We love it. Latterly is serverless, by the way, deployed on Vercel, not AWS, but still. Thoughts on LSD? It's great. No, I'm gonna sidestep that question. Thanks for the question. Okay, final form. Wow, the chat. I'm loving the questions. Very active today. So final form we need, it is duplicate and displaced. We're deleting the post Zod because it's non-alphabetical, right? Okay, cool. So here we have an apparently extraneous formic. We'll leave it for now and purge it later. Tailwind. Do not drop my tailwind, homie. Unified XML beautifier. I want all those things. I want all those things. Cool. How about dev-deps? I need typography. I need the bundle analyzer. Don't drop my bundle analyzer, dude. I need it. Next, env. And now I have a bug in here. Yikes. There's literally like a horsefly in here. Next env is not in the old at all. That's like a whole new dep. Okay. Thanks so much. Are you guys on here often around this time? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for me. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. How long do you think it would take me to land a job from being self-taught? It will take you more than 3 months, and you may never get one. It will take you more than 3 months, and you may never get one. So don't just be a self-taught developer. Don't just be a self-taught developer. It's great for that to be an important part of your identity. It's an important part of mine. That should not be the last note in your bio if you want to get a job. You should get with a group of people, make it social, make it collaborative, get some certs, right? Learn from other people. And you could totally get a job in under 2 years. You could totally get a job in under 1 year, but there's a lot of variables that makes it hard for me to give. Okay, so if I were just to assume that you were a random average, that's the problem. If you're a random average, it could take you like more than 5 years. That's like realistically true. So, yeah, I mean, book a one-on-one and I can give you more personalized and detailed advice, but the typical 4-year CS student takes more than 4 years. And the typical self-taught without a degree faces a harder problem than the CS problem. ESLint config next. This is good. It is slightly outdated, so let's bump that. Okay. Interviews are to get people to tell you about stuff they worked on comprehensively. Maybe. Random average what? Member of the US population. Like, how do I give statistical advice? There's like different ways to do that. I can do a best case, a worst case, an average case estimate, median case estimate. All those are very poor estimates for you. What's going to be useful for you is a personalized estimate. And I just don't know you, right? So I can't do that. But maybe I can at least give you the average case estimate. Okay, so I think we have resolved conflicts on the package file. So let me stage this. Someone said in the comments, prove you know how to code. Bro, if you don't know that this is like harder than half of the code tasks, oh gosh, that's crazy. Prove you know how to code. Okay, so here's the lock file. Oh, okay, got it. I guess the chat is talking amongst themselves. I think I can drop this DB file. That's a SQLite file that I don't need. Okay. Here, I'm going to chore update deps. NPM package management is trench work. That's the thing. And if you screw it up, you know, it's really, really rough. I have to take this off screen. I think there's a failure to ignore a sensitive file. Ah, okay, that's non-sensitive. Got it. These are YouTube transcripts, but they're open. Okay, so there's just like, I guess the Blitz thing ran a format process. Like, there's no need to check in this diff. So I'm going to just discard that. What certs do you recommend? And the chat is answering them. Yeah, that's good. I recommend the AWS Solutions Architect. And it sounds like that's what other people are saying too. Here for updates, anything? We are slowly getting there. AWS Solutions Architect, Associate Certain. Yeah, Chris is nailing it. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I 100% agree with Chris over here. Am I following this guy? Let me see. I gave Chris a follow. I don't think I've met him before. Okay, so here's a keep file. I don't need to keep it because I have postmark. So I'll drop my keep. How about my mailer keep? It's so tedious upgrading, but it's so important. Okay, I can drop the keep as well here. Only 45 files to freedom. Even that's not going to solve the problem. I hate to break it to y'all. Yeah, once we get through here, we're officially like a third done. I build pro lambda lists. Oh, yikes. Okay, you lost me, Chris. I'm gonna have to unfollow you now. This looks like just a formatting change. I'm gonna Command S to run the formatter. Prettier is busted. Okay, we shifted something in the config and prettier is busted. Command Shift P, format. What's prettier complaining about? Do I just need to npmi? Nope. Error, no entity on my Tailwind typography node modules. Okay, did I lose a library? Let me check my package JSON here. Post CSS selector parser. Post CSS version is unchanged. I might just need to reset VS Code. Reload required. Okay. Could just be this. Restart for the latest VS Code updates. Woohoo! So we're updating Blitz, and then a Blitz update got released. So we had to update the Blitz update, and then we had to update VS Code to update the Blitz update. Oh, buddy. If this isn't real programming, what is? All my friends just talk about making a unicorn startup. Wouldn't that be great? I'd love to make a unicorn startup. That'd be great. How do you do it, though? Now that we updated VS Code, we can update the extensions. Wow, look at all the updates we're updating. I just want to ship code. I just want to ship features. Let me live, bro. Okay, let's update VS Code itself, I guess. Not going to install the VS Code update. It's trying to do that right now. Any recommendations if I want to get more involved in AI ML on the developer side? Yeah, so we typically don't call them AI developers. We call them like MLEs, machine learning engineers. And then on the AI side, they're considered like research scientists. So MLE, I think, will be the easier one to break into if you don't have an advanced degree. If you want to be a research scientist, you should get an advanced degree, would be my recommendation. So you can get like a master's in data science or even a PhD, which will take longer. So it's not my first recommendation, but it's certainly a fun journey for some. It's also an expensive journey. Try to get a scholarship. Don't do a PhD if you can't get someone else to pay for it. For MLE, a boot camp, a high quality top tier boot camp, not a random boot camp. So coursereport.com, score of 4.25 or higher, minimum 400 reviews. I kind of like Springboard as of whatever this is, early 2024. Springboard is one that I like. I don't know if they have an MLE program specifically, but they're a solid boot camp. Okay, so, and let's check extensions one more time. Everything is looking good. We're looking good. So now can I format the document? Yes, I can. Sweet, sweet. Formatting on save has been restored. My developer experience has returned. Who needs a startup unicorn when you have VS Code working properly? And you see the file conflicts just melting away. They're just melting away, bro. We're going to stage that. That's a genuine file requirement. Use client. So someone was asking, like, what's the deal with the app router? Why is it different? These directive statements are a key syntactic difference between Next 13 and 14. Play that back and listen to that 5 times if that didn't make sense. Use server, use client, study them. That's going to be one of the biggest differences. Save and commit now. Absolutely. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for being here, Chris. Okay, this is an error handler component. Nice. This looks good. This is looking good. Pretty heavily commented. I mean, this is not necessary. Error components must be client components. Fine, whatever. Matt, thanks for the follow. Awesome. Y'all rock. Thanks for being here. This layout file is not what I want. I'll push it, but I need a to-do on here to alter the layout. Alter formic dep and layout .tsx. So this is a pseudo conflict. So there's no code conflict, but I have 2 different files called layout that have the same intent or scope. So that's like a pseudo conflict. So I need to fix that. I'll need to fix that, but I'll keep it for now. Whoa, there's 2 layouts. Wow. So there's a nested layout. Wow. I really don't know how much I hate that right now. I think it's going to be a lot, but I'll do it later. I'll work on hating that more later. All of these things will be gone soon, but we'll store them temporarily just to get the site working, and they'll get purged later. Log in, log out. You're all the wrong versions. These are all under the app. These are all under the app so far, but that's going to change shortly. Forgot password. Like, I have duplicate scope on all of these. I already have a forgot password mutation, and it's different. Okay. I feel like I'm not blinking enough, and my eyes are feeling dry. Check this out, dude. This is a form component that has a form in the component, so you can use it as a form in your component. Poppy Sensei, ¿qué onda? How's it going, man? Oh, you saved my life, dude. I was about to do bad things. Okay, so, and then these are actually my things, I think. Oh, did it move it? Labeled text field. No, I just have one. It's just another duplicate file. Bummerville. What is going on here? Look at these typos. So StyleLint and Prettier have an internal conflict going on. I just told VS Code to use prettier and then it worked, and then stylent was still mad. So now I'm going to try this again. And reconfigure on stylent this time. And it's still not working. Okay, so stylent wants to complain, but it won't autofix. Got it. You're one of those. Thanks, stylent. I'm going to go back to prettier, who treats me right. Hot diggity. Hot diggity. So we'll go back to prettier. And then I need to open globals.css and fix it by hand. Ew. Talk about a poor developer experience. I have to like type on my keyboard. Lame. I can't remember the last time I dropped a double quote anywhere, except for like Python code. JetBrains would never do this, right? Because JetBrains loves us. Although, yikes, I can't imagine much scarier than a CSS file in JetBrains. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Home module CSS is going to be under the app router. Look at all the red. Look at all the red, man. Home module CSS. I mean, stylelint is right. Like if it's a 0 rem, just make it a 0 is what stylelint is saying. Okay. These are all nits, dude. All like this is all nits. So I am going to just like skip this for now. I agree with all of the complaints. It wants kebab case instead of like, because it's a CSS class. I agree. Now is not the time to be dealing with that. Hey, great first issue. Great first issue. If you want to come through here and pacify stylelint, someone else can take care of that. So this is still going to be a hook. This is the use current user hook. I think it's a dupe hook, man. I think it's a dupe hook. Use current user, get current user, top. And now we're into the core components. But if I command S on this, the diff melts, right? Cool. I live with my janky YAML linter. Ugh, no thanks. No thanks. I don't even like YAML files like at all. I only use them when my company forces me to use them. This one I'm going to commit separately. Look at this. So this is one of those that it's like, I think it looks harmless, right? But it could totally bite you. And it's relocating the Blitz server. Let me check that. This is a healthy config. Sort imports on this. This is a healthy config. But I'm gonna do that one separately. We're melting the diff on the markdown file. So there's some kind of Blitz format that runs that's at odds with the prettier. Oh, I know why. It's the it runs prettier, but it has it with a different tab width. That's what happened. Remember, because I rolled back my tab width to 80 from 100. I don't know if y'all caught that. Why has this project taken you so long? I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe that's the problem. Or maybe upgrading from the pages router to the app router is hard. Could be either one. Take a guess. I would love your opinion, Jan. Okay, so the feat here is commit app components. Thanita, thanks for the follow. Okay, so we'll push this. I want to watch it fail, probably, because it's going to be dealing with the old Blitz server. Does that old Blitz server still exist? It does. So they both exist. So it might not fail. There might just be duplicate server configs. The app router is so much better than Pages. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why we're doing the upgrade. So we'll try to run dev locally. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Yes, I agree. I agree. Even though there's a bunch of duplicate components, it says that it ran. We love to see it. I'll stage my config change. Yup. Nothing wrong with that. Chore tsconfig auto update. What's the package? App router. Yeah, it's Next.js. Next.js has a major breaking change that involves a structural change called the app router. It's like a terse word. It's like app router. That sounds small. It's probably a small change, right? No, it's a big change. So I can't get into all the details involved there. But you can go read about the app router. Okay, so conflicting, yes, this is actually not a big deal, and this is good that it's complaining. Good that it's complaining. Okay. Is this using IAC? Yep, yeah, it is. It's super lightweight. It's super lightweight, but there is a Vercel config. It pretty much goes straight to a Lambda equivalent. Like it's Lambda by default, basically. And then my database, I'm not using the Vercel database instance. I'm using Supabase for Postgres. And that one is not IAC. Okay, so this page cannot be found. That's okay. And so what's the issue right now is that previously in Pages, I have index.tsx. And now in the app router, we call it page.tsx. Admittedly, I'm surprised that it's just breaking. I thought it would just serve the wrong one. Let me grab all of this. What to do, what to do. Let me just grab all this and see if this works. Still going to be called home, const home, export default home. I want to call it home page rather than home. They call it home here too. Whatever, fine, I'll call it home. Why don't you call it home page, dude? Export default async function home. Export default home, const home. And we can make it async. Okay, so it's async now. It's not assignable to Blitz page. Okay. What is the type on home? It is a promise of a JSX element. So we get rid of this abstraction called Blitz page. I'm okay with that. Otherwise, are you chill? Why not ET phone home? That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm getting a flash of something. Download React tools for a better experience. Maybe I'll check that out one day. I used to have the React dev tools. They were really good once upon a time. So now I've copied index over, and now I will delete this index. And this is the part where things get better or worse. And I'm really not sure. So we've deleted index now. Dun, dun, dun. I'm on the edge of my seat, dude. Yeah, Evan, you might be right. I might need to throw a use client in there. You have a server component that imports the next router. Okay, cool. I'm totally okay with that. Totally okay with that. I think Evan is right, and that is a quick fix. We got a loading. We got something going. Oh, check this out. Nice. Do we have an infinite loop? We have an uncaught infinite loop. You don't see those every day. New high score. Let's go. So what's the issue here? Next router was not mounted. Error, next router was not mounted. Right. Okay, so this is what the compat thing was complaining about. Router. Where do I have a router being used in here? And layout TSX. Right. That's okay. I think we can't use this anymore. You might not really need to use client here. Are there window calls even? Hey, Evan, no, we do not want in the long term to use client on that root page. But as a migration step, as a quick like patch, I'm fine with that. And then we can do like the detailed audit of which bits are server. We can do that later. I just want to like step around that for now. What does TSX stand for? It's JSX with TypeScript. So JSX is an XML-like representation in JavaScript. So it looks like HTML. What's the migration just joined? We're upgrading from Next 13 to 14. So we're moving from Pages router. We're migrating from Pages router to the app router. If error, don't. Based type code. Okay, so there's a couple ways to handle this. Let's try what could be the simple way, and it also totally might not work. So this is use router from Blitz. That's not real, is it? Yeah, no. Compat router compat. Got to know the magic words. Golly, golly, golly. Use router. This next compat router. Next compat router. Yay! I'm not sure that worked. Router is possibly null. Yeah. Just do one of these. Okay, so we have some more Tedia, some more to-dos. Close this. Close this. So here are the to-dos. One is alter the format depth. Two is reconcile duplicate layout.tsx files and other duplicate components. 3 is less use client. 4 is don't import. Okay. What is Blitz layout? It's kind of like most pages have a common structure. Like most web pages are going to have a default structure, and so the Blitz layout has that base common structure. Well, I said we were going to time box this, but we're making enough incremental progress that I think I'm going to just keep working on it. So we still have the 404, we're loading, and we still have a bunch of uncaught errors. Yeah. Home is not a function. It says home is not a function. Let's see. Routes.home. Yeah. I'm trying to kill my server so I can deal with this. I think the I need to run Prisma generate. Whoa, look at the lag. I assume you already know React Stack. Would be beneficial to learn server tech concepts. Oh, I think the chat is talking to each other. If you upgrade to Next 14, you could use the layout file. Yeah, we have layout files. We have layout files. We're in a migration state, so you have to deal with stuff like this sometimes. Lagaroo, yeah, this lag is wild, dude. I wonder if someone like turned on a TV in another room. Lag. Okay, well, I'm going to actually wrap up the stream because the lag is so bad. Have you tried downloading more RAM? Yeah. Why not migrate fully to 14? We have migrated to 14. I feel like you're not understanding me. If my computer would stop lagging, I would show you. Like, it's literally using Next 14 now. Yo, oh, okay. It was not a Wi-Fi lag. It was literally the infinite loop was exhausting memory. So next, so you see we're on Next 14 now as of this branch. Wait, are you migrated to 14? Yes. Like it's in process. What we're doing right now is a migration. Does that make sense? We're in the middle of it. Okay. So let's blitz Prisma generate. See if I can get my new home definition. You are in 14 or you're in progress to be. It matters. The installed version is 14. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like when Node is running, it is running version 14. Oh gosh, I think I'm getting trolled at this point. I don't think these are real questions. I guess I fell for the troll. I guess you got me. Sorry. Okay. Got him. Yeah. You got me. Okie dokie. Do you know what a Boolean is? Oof. I wonder if I should roll back this page for now. So export default async function home. Maybe I'll just try that literal syntax and see if that helps. I don't see why the alternative arrow function is like, I don't think that's causing a problem, but whatever. Oh no, I am still having a lag. So my loop is gone, but I still have lag. That feels bad. Evan says, I've definitely had issues default exporting the function and had to two-line it. Okay, so we'll try it out. npm run dev. It says ready. Let's see. Let's see if we hit a new record of errors this time. Uncaught. All right. In the top nav, home is not a function, it's still saying. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Okay, so this is the issue. Command Shift F, Command V, enter. Here I am, where am I? Yeah, so Prisma generate. Now that we moved the home page over here, this doesn't work. The enumerated routes from Blitz don't work anymore. I mean, the easy thing to do is just like not use this. But even though that's the easy thing to do, I don't think it's the right thing to do. Does Next 14 give us an enumerated router? Okay, so we can manually define our routes. Sure. So this is 12 to 13. This is not what we want. Let's see. We might have to just not use the router for now. Blitz routes support app router. Yeah. So it looks like it's just not supported for now. Thanks for the follow. For more details, you can view the issue here. Is it just putting me back where I sent it? Bro, no, I wanted you to actually read it. All right. Oh, did I comment twice? My bad. Let me be a little bit less annoying. So fix Next.js. Okay, and this is from Flight Control. These people are basically the maintainers of Blitz, so this is a useful article. And Brandon is the guy. Brandon is like the founder. Explains how to achieve full type safety using TypeScript, create a routes.ts. Yeah, let's do that. It gave me multiple options, and this was one of them. Okay. Next config.js. So yeah, GPT-4 Omni is doing a terrible job of walking me through that article, but that's okay. We can just follow the blog article. So here I have next config.js, experimental typed routes. Is it going to be here? A, B, C, D, E, experimental typed routes. So here, no TypeScript errors if it's valid, TypeScript error. Okay, so we still use a string literal. But in theory, it will scream at us. Banana. Whoa, sorry. The other banana. Banana is not assignable. Okay. How about slash banana? Huh? How about slash? And now it went away. Yo! Okay, so how about settings? Setting. Nice. Did you mean settings? Yes, I did. Yes, I did mean settings. Wow. So we don't need this like Blitz router abstraction. It's in the string literal. There's like a static analysis in next now. That is heckin' darn great. How to learn coding without paying for a course. Go grind YouTube, I guess. Trying to avoid paying is not an optimal strategy. Sure. Typed routes. Okay, cool. over here, and so this will be a fix. Oh, no, we don't actually want to use settings. That was just to test the things. We want the home route. We want the home route, which is the /literal. And then over here, like what are we doing over here? Setting canonical. Yeah, we should be using the new site meta. I'll put that as a to-do. Use new site meta, page meta pattern instead of, it's the head tag is what I'm doing right now. Is that right? Yeah, instead of the head tag. I just want to see the Vercel build pass, and then I'll be able to sleep tonight. We're making really good progress. This is a fix illegal homepage ref. What language is that? This is TypeScript. Although it doesn't look like TypeScript because it's TSX, but it is. Trust me, bro. Here we're in Blitz proper. I am going to kick this out. So I'm going to right click and hide or remove. I'm going to take this out of my, I want to take it out of my workspace. I'm scared to push delete. Do I push delete? I just want it to not show up here anymore. I thought there was something called like close or hide. All right, I'll delete it. Let me check in another terminal. Okay, so it's still in my workspace. It's just deleted from workspace. That was confusing. It's still in my workspace folder. It was just deleted from my VS Code File Explorer workspace multi-root view. I guess that was more precise, but like 1,000 times more words. If you press delete, it'll delete everything. Correct. Oh, what's up, Jose? Thanks for being here. Illegal homepage ref. Okay, so what I wanted to do now is ensure that that was the only homepage ref. So here, this is IRL TCG, irrelevant, irrelevant, laterally. Here we go. This is what I care about now. Okay, what I want to do here is just go for slash. So, and then here, we're going to do this in a bunch of places, basically. Don't you love migrating things? We're like birds. Birds migrate. And so do software engineers. So software engineering is for the birds. Got him. Thanita, thanks for the likes. So this is the login one. And here we're pushing the router. Sus. That's okay. I think I can push a /literal. Quick reminder, if you're over there on oh, we're almost at 3,000 likes. Let's get to 3,000 likes on TikTok. On the other hand, you can leave TikTok and go over to YouTube. The link is in my bio, and you'll be able to see the full screen. Basic checklist, we'll visit /home. Premium checklist will also visit /home. Boom, 3K. EMB, thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is rect, irrelevant. This is rect. red, yellow, green, RYG. So those are different projects. Those are fine. They'll remain on the pages router and go archived soon because they will be merged into Latterly itself. Because like here, we're going to fix the illegal homepage ref, which is done there, there. Basically all these pages, but not layout and not blitz main. Not layout and not blitz. Okay, so there's the fix illegal homepage ref. We commit that, we push that. Oof. And then what are we doing in this case? We are using the compat router, which is fine for now. But in the longer run, I don't want to do that. Fix temp use compat router. Temp use compat router. Okay. I'll do this blitz thing last. I want to see what happens if I do everything except that. I want to see what happens at build time. So here's the Vercel build. I guess we'll check on this momentarily. It's queued right now. So while we wait for that, I'll also mention this as a to-do in the GitHub because I'm sure I'll forget about it. Oh, wait, I already did it, didn't I? So that's already done. This is a good start, but it has many limitations. So they do like an even better way. Okay, we'll do that later. Better route types. Okay, let's glance at localhost. Are we going to hit a new record again? Rename blitz config. I think this is already done. Oh, something went wrong. Hey, ironically, that's better because we don't have infinite loop or a memory leak anymore. And so what it's complaining about is these duplicates. Yeah, we have to go through and reconcile all the duplicate files. I'm not doing that in today's stream, but it's a straightforward task. The following resolver resolved to the same path. That's fine. That's a straightforward task. I might do that offline, or we can do that in a separate stream. I don't consider that critical, but let's look at what the build says. Okay, so the build is going to fail anyway. Yeah, it will fail the build, but it's okay because it's like a straightforward task to fix. Okay, so this I'll call a feature upgrade RPC handler, I guess. And that's going to do it for today, y'all. Believe it or not, this was like a lot of progress. I know it might not feel like it because the build is still failing, but the way that we fix the build failure is literally just like resolve those duplicate files, which is a pretty straightforward task compared to the stuff that we were dealing with in these PRs. Like these are ready to close because it got nasty over here, didn't it? So we'll close that. Okay, so there's some more to-dos: reconcile duplicate layouts and other duplicate components. So we have like these 6 things that we got to do, but I think otherwise the scope is pretty clear for now. And I will extend the time box given all the progress today. So we'll keep working on this, whether I do it offline or at the next stream. Today's Tuesday. Hope you'll be here Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, in which case we will either work on this or this will already be done. And if this is already done, we get to move on to Stripe, integrated Stripe improvements, premium blog articles, which are unlockable through Stripe payment, and behavioral interview prep using a new custom GPT. That one I'm really excited about. Check out ladderlake.io. You can sign up, join for free. The behavioral interview prep GPT, I want to charge for if possible. If it's like really hard to monetize, then I'll make it free, but I'm going to try to monetize it. But I will have free early access to like quality assurance. So if you want to join the Discord and you can get free access and do like practice behavioral interview with the custom GPT, pull up, and that'll probably be available for free for like a couple weeks, at which point I will monetize it if possible. And if it's really tough, then I will just give up and make it free. So there's my grand strategy.